Welcome to Ngosti Talk Shows. Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Challenges we have had to overcome in 2020.
Find your own voice.
The world has become united by the unseen, knowing there are no guarantees for tomorrow.
Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Let the world hear your voice and be filled within.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader.
The time has come to break away from the pain, distraction, experience the unthinkable.
The time has come for you to experience the unthinkable. Over to you, Tamia. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the situation may be for you as you listen to this show. My name is Tamia Dapple, and I'm coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada in the United States. I am very excited to be a part of this show. I love the Ngosti Talk Show. It is such a pleasure to be here with Nomsa and Dr. Brigitte. And I am one of the managers of the show. So I'm super excited to introduce myself to you. I am an ordained minister. I am a coach. And I am also a filmmaker. I love to make movies. I love to help people tell their stories. And I also love to help people manage those things that we all experience in life for their success. So that is something that I love to do. That is what I do. And I love to do it as part of the Ngosti Talk Show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tamia. Over to you, Dr. Bigot. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you, Numsa, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are. Here in the United States, it's in the morning. My questions for you today: are you doing what you want to do in life? Are you sure you're doing what you want to do in life, or are you doing something that you think you should do? So today we're going to share with you how to let go the should and actually allow you to do what it is that you really want to do in life, what you really love. And when you're doing that, will be able to thrive and win even easier and better. And I am Brigitte and I am a grief transformations and life success coach. And I'm here for you to help you live your greatest potential in an easy and fun way.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Bigot. Over to you, Tamia, please. Could you please explain to our audience, our topic today is let go of who you think you should be and become who you want to be. So what do we mean by that? Could you please explain to our audience?
Well, it's about living your life for you. Living the life that you desire, not living your life for others or what others believe that you should be doing with your life. Sometimes it happens through being born into a family. And if you're born into a family of doctors, or you're born into a family of mechanics, or if you're born into a family of whatever you want to insert in, and people say, oh, it is natural for you to move into your father's shoes, or move into your mother's shoes, or to move into your auntie's shoes, or to move it. And it's not about what you desire to do. It's what they're, oh, we raised you up. We put all this behind you to help you be this, but it may not be what you want to be. You know, you may want to be an actor. You may want to be an artist. You may want to be an entrepreneur. You may want to be something that is not necessarily what people.
She's frozen. Do you want to take over, Dr. Bigot?
Sure, absolutely. You know, to me, it is important to know what it is that you want to do because a lot of times that's really what your true little heart calling. And it is true, like Tamia says, that many times it could be your family, it could be your responsibility. It might not be your family dictating you what to do, but you like, well, I have I have kids to take care, or within my scenario, I have parents to take care. So your responsibility, and you said, well, it will be irresponsible if I do this and I do that. So it will be more responsible if I do something else that I feel I should do. But truly, when you are doing what you want to do, is actually when you fulfilling your purpose. We all come here to fulfill a purpose, and staying in the should not typically not going to allow you to fulfill your purpose easily, while what you really want to do, what your heart call, is also what your purpose calling.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Biget. Tamir, would you like to continue?
I would love to continue. You guys, I pray that the internet will stand up. That's so strange. I normally have pretty good reception here. But anyways, I imagine it stopped behind saying that you had this, or other people have these visions for what is supposed to be your life, for what they believe you are supposed to do because of who you are, how you were born, what your family does, et cetera, what your family has poured into you for you to do something. Let's say, for example, if they've decided they wanted you to become a lawyer, or something like that. That's not your desire. Your desire of your heart may be to be an artist or a creative or a filmmaker or something like that, entrepreneur or something like that. And it's because of other people's expectations. Sometimes you're going after the life that people tell you you should be living, as opposed to living the life that you want to live, following the desires of your heart, doing the things that bring you joy. So it's so important for you to decide. I mean, we have such a desire for loyalty towards our family and the people who have done for us and have hopes for us and have dreams for us. Yet the thing is, in the end, we have to live the life of our dreams, not the life of our parents' dreams or whoever's raising us or whoever's around us. That's why it's so important that if you want to go after your dreams, to be around people who, number one, support you going after your dreams, and number two, that are living your dream. So you know who to model and who to spend time with. So that was a little of what I wanted to share. I hope, I know it was broken up, so I hope I put together a solid answer.
I agree with you, Tamia and Dr. Biget. For me, basically, I was very lucky. My parents, basically, they've never actually say to me, this is what you should be. They were like, we are here for you. Whatever you want to achieve in life, we can actually support you. So I was actually raised to know that you can be what you want to be in life. So there were opportunities. What my daddy did, he used the psychology that there are opportunities. You can travel around the world, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. So I grew up, as I was growing up, I basically decided, I started realizing the choices that I wanted, who I wanted to become. And to be honest with you, if I was to put myself in someone else's shoes right now, if I was to choose for them to say you could be this, that would be depressing for them. I don't think it is the road where I will actually even open my mouth and tell somebody this is what you should be. Basically what I would do is, I'm here for you, and I expect that person to be here for me, to be there for me, not to tell me what I should and what I should do, because that is depressing, taking all my freedom away from me. So I don't know what you think, Dr. Biget.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there is something in all of us when it's if you're living a life of should, you're basically putting yourself in the presence of obligations, in the presence of other people expectations, and perhaps in the presence of your own fear. fear of not being able to be successful. A lot of time we do one thing that we feel we should instead of what we want because we fear that we are not going to be successful. We're not going to be able to generate as much income or something, or we're not going to have the respect. Let's say somebody, the society respect doctors, for instance. And now, if you are doctors and you decided to do something else, then you fear you might not have the respect that you have before. So a lot of time, when you put yourself in this shoot because of expectations, trying to meet other people's expectation, or bowing down to your own fear, then how do you feel if you truly in a prison? If you truly physically in a prison, how would you feel? Most likely it will be very unpleasant feeling. It will be very stressful feeling. And like Numsa said, it's very depressing. And we know that actually what we feel, what's in our mind, it will eventually shows up in our body. We know this in medicines very, very well. If you are stressed out all the time, you depressed all the time, even if you're not showing it, even you function through your life as if everything fine, it will shows up as physical illness eventually, and it's not going to be serving you or anyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Biget. Tamia, anything you want to add before we move on?
Yeah, I think it really is a sad situation, but unfortunately, a lot of people in this world are living the life that they should live, that they've been told is their place in life, should we say, that is what you should be doing. And I agree with Doctor here when she talks about the feeling like you're in a prison, because really it is. If you think about it, if you were in a prison setting or a camp setting, even when you go and do, let's say, some type of a breakaway situation, like a retreat situation or something like that, people are assigned positions. They're not positions they want, but they're assigned positions, and it's so frustrating. I mean, it's okay for you to do it for a little bit, but it's something you don't want to do permanently, because it actually ends up quelching your excitement, quelching your motivation, quelching your desire, and people become depressed, because it's like, I don't want to do this, but what else am I supposed to do? People are expecting me to do this. They say I should be doing this, but it's not something that brings me joy. It's not something that I enjoy. I desire to do something else. So as our listeners are watching and hearing this, please remember the importance of enjoying what you choose to do for your career, because you bring so much to the table when you enjoy what you're doing, because it's part of your heart mission. It's part of your life mission. It's part of what you want to do in life, not part of what you have to do in life or what you're told you should do in life. Now, bear in mind, there's some basic should do's that you couldn't do, but it shouldn't have to be like your major career is a should do. Your major career should be joy. So find something that brings you joy, then figure out how to make money doing that instead of living in misery. Working, it might be a very well-paying job, but if you dread getting up and going to work to it, or you feel like you're, as was mentioned, if you feel like you're in a prison every time you go to work because you feel like you have your creativity closed in, this is all you can do. I don't want you to do more than this. That's not the way to live life. And it's definitely not the way to live your best life. Enjoy.
That's really great, Tamia. I'll say that what's joy. And a lot of times people say, well, what brings you joy? Something, I love doing this, but how am I going to make money? And I invite, if that's your case, if you are in a situation where, okay, I'm doing this, but this is what I love doing, and I can't possibly see how I'm going to generate income. How about if you step into the what if? What if? What if there is a way for you to generate even more income with a lot more fun and less time than and
Right.
and if what it is that you really love. We actually I when you're speaking that I come into my mind a client that he he has doctorate degree in pharmacy. And you mentioned this is a doctorate degree in pharmacy, a lead pharmacist, and he did not like being a pharmacist anymore, a very respected pharmacist too, and not generating that much income in his mind. What he loves is to play with those drone planes. You know, the drone that like develop a remote control operated thing that fly around. He
Yes.
loves doing that. And he said, this is a kid thing. Are you kidding me? This is a child. This is a toy. And he said,
Yes.
how what if you are able to play with drones and use your career and generate 5 times your income? Well, so he stepped into that. He allowed our coaching to help him. In less than 1 year, he 10 times his income and
Nice.
become one of the number one main people still are in the drone industry. And then actually with the pandemic, his career growth. I mean, he was already a millionaire. He tripled his income with the pandemic. Stepping into what it is that he wants to do instead of what he should. You know, you got doctorate degree, what are you thinking, dropping it and playing with drone? So
Thank you so
Right.
much.
That's a great example because that's so true. Find out what you enjoy. To actually grab that drone and now figure out how can I make money doing something I enjoy. I think that a lot of people, especially during this pandemic time, have become more creative in using the things that bring them joy because now they have actually had an opportunity to explore that, to really look at what brings me joy, because they had more time. Like before, we were so busy being busy, right? So busy about getting here and doing this and this and this and this. And most of the time, for the most part, for people, it was for a should type situation, right? Just like with your client, and now they're able to find their joy, find out what it is that they really enjoy doing in a creative way, and then how to incorporate it. So this is a good message. I love that you mentioned that, Doctor, because now look at how can you incorporate your joy maybe into what you're should doing right now. How can you do it and maybe reshape it so that it is something that's joyful to you, because now you've made it part of you. You've made it so you can enjoy this that you have put as part of your should job or should position, right? So think about that. That's really great. I like that, incorporating something so simple as I like to fly a drone. Do you like to draw? Do you like to act? Do you want to create really creative, maybe a funny commercial about your business or what you're doing? Just great. Those are great ideas.
And I love that you mentioned that that people has more time during pandemic. Now, for some of you, you are listening to this and you say, well, yes, whether I was doing my shoot or my one, what have you, you know what? Right now, I'm not doing anything. I have been laid off and I have been out of work and I don't even know what to do. What if you see this time when you are not even having able to find work, what if this is an opportunity? This is the universe giving you an opportunity to explore what it is that you really, really love. So you're not going back into another shoot.
Right.
That this opportunity, perhaps you're not working right now and not being able to find job. I actually know somebody and another client who was out of work for more than 6 months because he was laid off almost immediately. Almost out of work for 6 months, and she applied to job every single day and nothing. And then at the end, she said, help me. What is this going on here? And she actually has to borrow money just to be able to get coaching. She borrowed it from 3 different people to get coaching. Yeah, and we're like, and there is a part of me that say, hey, let's make this successful here. It's going to be successful or super successful. And we immediately explore what is it, letting go of her fear. And we explore what is it that she really, really loves. And she tapping into what she loves, which is drawing, actually, that painting. She paints a sketch painting. And also doing something else, painting, yoga, and dancing. And somehow, someway, in a matter of less than 1 month, before the coaching even complete, she was able to put all these things together and start generating money. You know, by now, this is about 6 months, not even 6 months later, she's already generating double of what she was doing, working at the job. And so if you are in a position where you say, well, I have been hit by the pandemic, what is it? This is an opportunity to tap in what it is that you would
That is so true. That is so true. I think you just have to shut down the noise because everyone has an opinion of what you should be. I was talking to Tamia. When did we have a meeting the other day, Tamia, when we were talking about social media? I basically won the award, and the guy said to me, when he called me, he said, your social media is more personal. And he said to me, there was so much competition, Noms, about your social media stands out. It's more personal. We can see that is you who is posting your social media. And it was like, are we wrong? I was like, no, you're not. So it was like when the people that I have, professional people who are paying for them to pay to actually post every day, you can tell, but your social media is more personal to you, is more your personality, and we love that. And it was like, basically we giving you the title. You are your company goes to talk show, Hope Springs Eternal Introduction Agency. Here's the title, Company of the Year. So I was like, I accept the title. Just yeah, why not?
Yes.
You just have to be, because Nadia always talk about how when you go to other people's lives, you see everyone is copying everyone. You have to have the courage to be you, because we are all individual. We are all created different. We have these amazing personalities that money cannot buy. But when we look at somebody else's work, we think, oh, this is beautiful, instead of actually creating our own work, creating our own things, and being who we want to be, not what we think people want to see. Because if I actually, I was telling Tamia that whatever you guys want to create on Ngozi Talk Show, it has to be more personal to Ngozi Talk Show's beliefs, because I believe when Tamia posts something, I have to connect with Tamia. I have to, whatever she's been eating, whatever she's been doing, I have to go and read her post and connect with the real Tamia, with the real Dr. Biget. I don't want to see the fake one. So that's why I was telling you guys the other day that basically just be you. You don't have to be, you look at somebody else, you look at their post, is all glamorous and stuff. No, that does not work. You just have to be you, like what Dr. Biget is saying, and like what Tamia you are saying is going to be real. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. So the question,
let me say something about that, Nomsa. So it's very interesting you would bring that up. I'm just recently off of a retreat. And we went to Sedona, Arizona, and we were talking about that. I was explaining to the group, the clients that were there, that we are not in competition with other people. We are only in competition with ourselves to do better than we did yesterday, you know? And when I was explaining that, it was interesting, because they were all just kind of looking at me when I said that, because a lot of times there was a little bit of talk about, you know, another person that they were, you know, maybe comparing themselves to or whatever. And I said to them, I said, you cannot be in competition with other people, because you're not them. You are uniquely who you are. The only person you can do better than is the person you were yesterday. You, not somebody else. So yeah, it's very important that people who are watching and listening to us make the choice to be a better you. It's your choice. Because what is consistent in every situation when you deal with somebody and you deal with people is you. You are always the common denominator in that. So it is important for you to realize that you are special. You are unique. And who you are does. I love what you said, Nomsa. I go to Tamia's page and I'm looking and seeing what she's got going on. I mean, and there's people in your life that you are like that, but you don't turn around and say, oh, I'm going to be that person, because that's not Nomsa. Nomsa is this amazing person in and of herself. She just loves to celebrate her friends, go on their pages, see what they got, celebrate with them, that kind of thing. But she doesn't want to be me. I don't want to be her. I don't want to be Dr. B. I want to be my best me. And that's the way we should really take on our lives and live our life. How can I be my best me? Because the only person you're going to have to answer to when you take your last breath in this world and go into the next world, whatever you believe it's going to be, is you're going to have to answer for what you did or didn't do in this world when you leave it. And none of us know. We could be leaving it today. We don't know. So live your best life. Don't stay in the should. If you're in a should right now and you're listening to this and you're going, oh my goodness, I am listening to these amazing women during Women History Month, and they are telling me that I should really go after my dream, figure out how can I do it so that I can make money and move from my should to where I want to be, enjoying what I'm doing to serve the world. Think about that. Because probably whatever's in your heart is something that is truly designed to serve the world. What I call your God-planned life, right? Because God has a plan for each one of our lives, whether you believe in him or not, okay? He has a plan for each one of our lives, and he'll give us the instructions on how to walk that plan if we are willing to just kind of commute with him. And what I mean by that is just ask him. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people hear the word prayer and they get all, oh, that's so religious. That's this. No, it's not. If you meditate, if you go on a walk and go, I just don't know what I'm supposed to do. Who are you talking to? I'm not going to answer that question for you. You may be talking to who you perceive to be the universe. You may be talking to God. Who are you talking to? Doesn't matter. It's just that you are having that communication up, knowing that there's got to be a bigger plan, right? Think about that. We're not ants. Ants come and they have a little mission and they all do what they're supposed to do. And same with bees, they all do what they're supposed to do. But we're not ants. We're not bees. We are human beings designed to be of service to one another and to enjoy and live our lives to the fullest. And the way we do that is to really examine and go towards, this is just so, like, God has given me that word today, enjoy, to just be joy. You know what I mean? So we must figure out how can we enjoy our career, enjoy our life, enjoy our family and the people that are placed in our lives, because they are here to bring us joy. But it's up to us how we handle that.
That is so true. That is so true. What do you think, Dr. Bigot?
I love that. I love that very much. It is very true. And when you believe in God, in the universe, in something, or perhaps you simply believe in yourself, there is a part of us. A lot of time, there is a study that everybody, 99% of babies, practically everybody are born genius. But with genius capacity, they define genius capacity with the ability to learn in this much in this time frame and everything. And if you look at babies are learn very quickly. I mean, they born not being able to do anything, and then they learn very quickly how to use their hands, communicate, to read, and read people, read body language, and so forth, very, very quickly. But actually, by the age of 5, we reduce that genius capacity by 97%. And so that is very interesting. Why? Because a lot of time this is from the feedback from outside. And by the time we are adult, we listen to so many things from outside of us that we actually oftentimes forget who we are. But whether you believe in something out there, even if you don't, of you said, yeah, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in the universe. I don't believe in all these things. What about if you believe that there is a part of you that has not been contaminated, has not been contaminated by society noise, that still know what's best for you, and then listens to that part of you when you are discovering now that you listen to this, what it is that you really want to do. And there is a thing of this universe. This is a circular universe. If you look like at everything, this is a circular universe. There is everything goes around all the time. So when you discover what it is, what you really love to do, what your heart calls you actually will benefit others. Anything that raises your energy and vibrations will, at the end of the day, bring more goods to others. Imagine this: if you just feeling so depressed and your energy low and everything all the time, would people who's close to you not being able to detect that? They will. And would that be something pleasant, and would that be something they would love to see about you? Probably not. So if you are doing what you want to do, what you love to do, and your energy is high and you are enjoying, as Tamia says, then it actually brings good to other people as well.
I thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Biker. I think basically when you don't believe in something, that's when depression takes over. You have to have something that you believe in. For me, I believe in God, and I believe that that I have a purpose on earth. And if things are not going well, I always call out to Him. I quote the scriptures. I have the Bible. The Bible was written, so I quote the Bible. I quote every scripture that you say this, you say this, you say this, you say this. Now I'm seeking you, God. And if there is any part of me that has done something wrong, that is bringing this pain into my life, I just have to say it all out loud. That is bringing this pain in my life. God, please, my existence, why am I here on earth? Show me my purpose. Let me serve. You have to speak it out loud. Whatever you believe. I don't know, some people, they say they don't believe in nothing, they don't believe in this, and that's why, you know, your life is just goes to the drain. You have to have some form of belief. See, if you look at all these successful people, they have something that they believe in, and they all quote one thing. Goes back to the Bible. So they all quote the Bible. So I'm like, if these people, I listen to Tony Robbins, I listen to Lisa Nicholson, I listen to Les Brown, I listen to all these speakers, the list goes on. They all send me back to the Bible. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna learn what they've learned. So I go and learn the scriptures, and when things are going wrong, I cut the scriptures out, and God say, okay, Noms, I'm listening. I'm listening. So I have to speak, and then I have to have some time where I spend like 1 hour or 30 minutes or 20 minutes listening, because sometimes you when you are going through something or you want to make a decision, there's got to be a time where you can speak, and then there's got to be a time where you need to listen. Just sit down in a quiet place and just listen, and all will be revealed to you. If whatever you are looking for will be revealed to you. So
yeah, I believe that. I totally believe that. As part of our retreat, I take the participants through a process, and hearing what Dr. Vigit said, talking back to childhood, we take them through this process. And I listen to what you just said, Nomsa, I think it's important. The scripture says, train up a child in the way that they should go, and when they get old, they will not depart from it. And that's part of embedding the scripture into your heart and mind, so that when something comes to you or happens to you in your life, you're like, wait a minute, what was that? What was that? And the Lord will bring it back to you, to help you provide, get through whatever situation you might be in. But what we did as an exercise this weekend was we had kind of a childhood, what do you call it, like reverting or remembrance kind of situation. Because when we're talking here about people ending up doing what they should do, what they're being told to do, and then what they wanted to do as childhood, a lot of time it's totally different, right? So we took everyone back to that child them, that younger them. What were they excited about? Remember when you ask a kid, you say to them, what do you want to be when you grow up? And the kid is like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. And they're like, I want to be a fireman. I want to be this. They have these wild dreams about what they want to do. And then do they end up being that? This was what we reflected on. This is what we talked about. We went through visualizations and various different things to help people re-embrace, pull back, because that inner child is always in us. And what often happens is we put that inner child's needs aside, and we walk into this cold, cruel world that is telling us what we should do. And we march like little soldiers doing what we should do. And our inner child is inside us, and they're going, I want to play. I want to do this. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, unfortunately, the world robs our childhood, our innocence, our foundation from us. And we even went so far as talking about when you were a child. Everybody just kind of reflect back. When you were a child, there were very few things that you felt you could not do. Meaning, when I say that, I'm not saying you could go and, you're 8 years old and you're going to physically be a police officer, that kind of thing. No, I mean, like, you would say, oh, there's something over there. Maybe if I think in my mind that I could have it, and kids do this so well, trust me. If you have any young children, you're like, Mama, I'd like that doll. Mama, I'd like the doll. We're not going to get it. We're not, before you know it, some kind of way this child has got this doll, right? They have figured out as little people, young people, that if they have a desire in their heart, they learn how to ask for it. They visualize it. They pretend they're playing with it. I mean, think about it. Watch the actions of a young child. We should pull out our young child. We should pull out our inner child and consult with them about how can I become this person that I've always dreamed I wanted to be, and I put by the side because I was supposed to do this particular thing that I'm doing right now that's not bringing me joy. So I did that reflective exercise. And the other thing I wanted to share with you, I like what you said, is because I was the leader of it was a mastermind. I had to take time to refuel daily. And the way I refuel daily is when I went to sleep, I actually listened to I went to sleep with it on, of just scriptures and encouragement while I slept, right? And also some of the people in the retreat house heard it, and they said they found it very comforting. But it's just my process of being ready to stand up in the morning and be the leader, of all that was going on. So think about what it is that you need to pour into yourself. It may be very individual to you, but as Nomsa mentioned, as I mentioned, I do look to the scriptures for encouragement. I do like you'll notice if you guys are watching our show often and you see me on the show, I'll just quote a scripture because it just came to me, and that is the way that leaders do, as Nomsa described, Jack Canfield and, some of these great leaders that have been around, Zig Ziglar, who's not here anymore, Jim Rohn, a lot of them, you will listen to their teachings and you will hear them at some point quote a scripture, just because that was the foundation for success. And they knew that, just like I said, God has a plan for all of us, and it's for us to prosper and to bring us hope. That's Jeremiah 29:11 for anybody who wants to look it up, Jeremiah 29:11. That is something I meditate on every day, because I know that even if the day's going bad, you know what? God's going to work all things together for good. Genesis 50:20. Look it up, but when you know these things and you can grab back onto them, it helps you to discover what you are supposed to do, right? What you really want to do in your heart and how you can make it happen. But it comes to trusting God that he has the right plan for your life. That's how I feel.
That is so true. And also trusting your choices as well. The choices that you make, you have to trust them, because sometimes we want to make decisions, but we don't trust our choices. Who said every choice that you make is going to be a good choice? So trust whatever choices you're making. And if you make mistakes, life is about all that. It's a journey. You find yourself by making mistakes. That's how you grow, and that's how you become the person, because you can look back and say, okay, this is who I was. I've grown and now I'm here. For me personally, I look back and I'm like, I laugh at the mistakes that I've made in life, and I laugh at the things that I'm doing, because I'm growing, I'm enjoying what I do. While everybody else is laughing at my mistakes, me, I'm just saying, okay, finding the solution of my mistakes. I'm embracing my mistakes. What about you, Dr. Biget?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, times was so many times, and it's normal. It's normal for us to not want to make mistakes, and it's normal for us to not want to fail. But it is actually at the same time, it's depend on how you see it. Do you see it as a mistake, as a failure, or can you see it as a feedback?
Mm-hmm.
Everything in life, Ken Kai says that everything in life has the opportunity to become our teacher. And this is for somebody who is a perfectly vibrant young person who, because of polio back in the day, make him paralyzed from neck down. And at the same time, for many people, that kind of conditions would have said, okay, that's it, I'm done. And it took him a lot of time to recover, to even learn how to live. But at the same time, once he recovered after just within a year or two, he actually turned around and create these thought-based opportunity, and end up creating many many places for learning opportunity and so forth. And so, we can see things as a mistakes, we can see things as a failure, we can see things as a misfortunes, or you can actually see that, okay, if you make these decisions, it doesn't work well. It's apparently it's an opportunity to learn instead of
Yes.
a mistakes. And as long as you continue learning, you will continue to live it better. You continue to live better and better.
Yeah, I think that when we think about Thomas Edison, I always remember that. It's like, I think almost every leadership class talks about it, that over and over again, it took him almost 10,000 attempts to create the lights that we have around us right now. Can you imagine that? And think about if he would have stopped at 9, right? Or if he would have stopped at 300, or if he would have stopped at 1,000, right? But instead he kept going every time. Now think about this. That means that he failed in the eyes of his peers and everybody who was watching him do it. He failed 9,999 times, but he was persistent and consistent and reflective, because each time something happens that is perceived as a failure or a oops, you have to go, okay, what worked? What didn't work? How can I improve this, right? So if you start looking at it like that, what worked? What didn't work? How can I improve this moving forward? Then it helps you be more successful, knowing that you think of Thomas Edison, knowing that, well, that experiment didn't work. I got to do it again. I got to tweak it and do it again. Well, that didn't work. I got to tweak it and do it again. Think about how many times people have had multiple jobs or multiple starts of their businesses. And and things such as that, only to at some point blow up, have the most perfect thing that they're supposed to do. But they had to go through all of these different steps to get there. Because what worked? What didn't work? What am I going to do moving forward? So I love that. I love that. It's really good.
You know,
Yeah.
I remember hearing somebody says that the main difference between the winner or the leader, the people who win, the people who become extremely successful, is for many people, when we have failure, people say, "Oh my God, this is fail. All right, okay, I'm apparently time for me to back off." And the leaders and the winner, when there is a so-called what people call failure, when things doesn't work, instead of like, "Oh my goodness, okay, then I'm not meant to be doing this," they look into it and they say, "Okay, what is it in here that I did not do that I can change?" So it's up to you when things that you want to do does not work out. It's up to you. Are you going to lean back and say, "Okay, that's about it"? Or are you going to lean in and say, "All right, let me discover how to do this better the second time, the third time, the 20th time"?
Right. Right.
And also, you know, when things are not working, you have to, because sometimes there's gonna be people that are gonna be saying, "I told you so." You have to. What I do when I make a decision, I basically have to rely on me. I have to rely on my heart. If things are not going well, I have to cry out to God and say, "God, I need you. Things are not going well in my life. I don't depend on the flesh." I used to, when things are not going well, I used to expect, you know, we have our own expectations where we expect to put the blame on people. And when people don't understand what we are doing anyway, why we are making that decision, because that decision was never in their heart. So you start getting upset. So when things are not going, I say, "God, is this where I'm supposed to be? Where am I supposed to go? Right now I'm stuck. I have to lay all out that this is my decision, my choice, but the choices has led me to this fall. Where am I supposed to go?" And that's when I've asked God, "Where am I supposed to go?" And God gives me the answer. He's not gonna give me the answer. I have to sit back and relax. Tamia shows up. Tamia is carrying my answer. Or Dr. Biget shows up. God is leading her to me. But sometimes it could be a distraction. Tamia might be the person who's meant to lead me to where I need to go. And then Dr. Biget, two people shows up. So that's when it's very, very important that when you make a decision, you know that where is this gonna lead me? So if Tamia is the one that is gonna take me to the path that I'm treading, so then I choose Tamia. She helps me out. And then Dr. Biket might be a distraction. So that's why it's very, very important to actually, when you make choices, make sure that you're willing to pay the price. And people, when all these speakers are saying be willing to pay the price, the people don't understand what price. The price is, are you willing to carry those mistakes? Are you willing to celebrate yourself? Because celebration could be success, could be a shock as well. So success can actually shock you. So you have to be willing to actually celebrate you as well, because it doesn't matter whether you are succeeding or you don't, but you try. That decision of wanting to try is something to celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and I like the way what you said, and using the example of the two of us on here, you know. I believe in abundance, and when you hear from different, because I know people will go to YouTube and they'll listen to different leaders, presenters, speakers, coaches, etc. Right? And you've provided here, Nomsa, which is so amazing. You've provided such a wide variety of diverse personalities and coaches for your viewers, for people to get to know and to get to see. But when you describe, this is so key. This goes back to the first point that I made about you're not in competition with another person. You're only in competition with yourself. And being true and unique to yourself, you will draw people to you that resonate with you. Just like someone may love and adore Nomsa, and Nomsa would be who they would go to because that is who they resonate with. And there's people who will love and adore Dr. Brigitte and will be like, I must work with her because she, her and I resonate. I love that. And then there's other who will be like, oh, I love, and I love Tamia and her personality and this kind of thing, right? But it has to do with the choice you make and the fact that we as coaches realize that there's choices and that there's abundance out there. Just because you choose Nomsa or you choose Dr. Brigitte or you choose me, it's not that I lose something or Nomsa loses something or Doc loses something because that, that particular person chose us. It is that, like Nomsa and I believe, and like Dr. Brigitte believes the universe, we believe God has drawn that person to us. And we are there to walk. I love what you said, the path. We're there to walk your journey with you, and as coaches, it may just be for a season, for you to get and see, who you are and what you're supposed to do, not what you should do, what you're supposed to do with your life. So I love this show. I love the direction it even went to show people that coaches are amazing. I love the story about the client with the drone. I mean, coaches are amazing. They help you because you're challenged. You want to do well. You want to succeed in whatever you desire to do because, it's not necessarily just your business. It might be your family life. It may be Nomsa does coaching on relationships and things such as that. Sometimes that's more important. I've sat down with clients and in my review of them at the beginning, they may have come to me for some business coaching, but we end up working on some family relationships first to get them strong so they have that foundation at home. And then when we start working on the business, it's way different because they had the support. They weren't leaving their family. So it's really cool to realize that we must be full circle. I know Dr. Brigitte did a full circle earlier. We must be full circle in knowing that we are not one dimensional. We as human beings are not one dimensional. So if we go to a coach and say, I solely want you to work on my business, that coach is going to find out what's your home life like. What do you do for recreation? Because business is not everything is my point here. We are multidimensional human beings and we must work on all aspects of our life in order for us to be living our dream life. You may have the dream job, but if you're coming home to an empty house or you spend 100+ hours a week there, so you never go on vacation, you know what I'm saying? Or you're neglecting your family and your nieces and nephews if you don't have a physical family, you know what I'm saying? Happiness, joy, all of that comes from building the well-roundedness of yours. You're spending 100 hours at the office, so you're not working out, so you're getting unhealthy. So so you're stressing now, you're using blood pressure medicine. You know what I'm saying? If you don't get everything perfectly in alignment, and when I say perfectly, no one's going to be a 10 all the way around, 10 being the highest thing, but you also don't want to be a 10 over here in your career and the stuff that you're doing and be a 2 in health, or 2 in spirituality, or a 2 in, yes, you see what I'm saying? So being so out of line because you're way up here with what you should do, or even what you want to do, but you're way up here with it and everything else is down here, your life is out of alignment and you still can't be in joy because you're only building one portion of your will, your circular wheel that allows you to be whole and full. So I would encourage you to think about that, even draw it out. I love my life would be the first thing I'd write. I love my life. And then I would say how I feel about my career, 1 to 10. How I feel about my personal health, 1 to 10. And what we mean by 1 to 10, 10 is it's beautiful. I love it, right? 1 is, oh my goodness, I'm not even paying attention to this. I totally should be doing something. Do it for spirituality, do it for health, wellness, spirituality. Help me out, ladies. What are some other ones they could do it for? Just to track that you are what you're doing to make the full circle happen, right? Do it. Write it down, something to take away from today. If any of that is out of alignment, ideally you want to make it so that you have 7 to 10s in all of them. And you have to be mindful of that. It's not going to happen just you saying that it's going to happen. You're going to have to focus. Okay, here's work, but this is not going to be my full focus. I need to spend time with my mom if you're a single person, or my parents if you're a single person. I need to spend time with my nieces and nephews to build the family part of it, right? Or maybe you want to go look for a relationship. Whatever it is to make it so that when you go home, it's not just you go to bed and turn back around and go to work. There should be some hobbies in there. There should be some personal building of yourself, whether it's spiritually going to church and reading and doing that kind of stuff, or as we were talking, get some exercise, go out, start getting some exercise, do some yoga. Maybe I just started yoga again. I had done it years ago, but it's really good for mindfulness. It's really good for making the whole rest of the circle start to flow. So just think about what it is that you need to do to make you the best you that you can be, not in competition with anybody else, being the best you can be. And then when you figure out what you need to do, start doing it.
Thank you, Tamia. Anything you want to add on that one, Dr. Bickett, before we leave?
Thank you, Numsa. Yeah, I would say as the two last message for today, and that's the first one would be allow yourself. Many times we are very responsible as adults. Most of us are very responsible people, and that's how we got into this should. That's how we got into doing what we feel or believe is should. But allow yourself. If you say, well, but allow yourself, know that you deserve it. And then again, to remember that whenever you are doing something you enjoy, like Tamia says, it will bring, even if you cannot see how at this moment, if you truly tuning in and leaning in and doing something that you enjoy, it will bring goods to others that you love as well, sooner than later. And the other part is, we give a lot of tips in this talk show today and all the other time. And that my mentors put it very well, that, inspirations without action is merely entertainment. That's what Mary Morrissey say. And yes, you can learn all these things. Tamia shared with you on what to do to see where you are with your life. We share with you a lot of different tips every time. And you can listen to this. And it's very entertaining as you are cooking or something. But if you don't do anything with this, if you notice in somewhere in you says, yeah, I can definitely benefit from help here. And at the same time, you did not get your computer out and type in and ask for a coach, whomever that you connect, or make a phone call. It will be an entertainment. And if you don't do anything, life needs action. If you don't do anything, tomorrow and next year and 10 years from now, it's going to be the same. And because life is either moving forward or going back, it's going to be the same and going backward.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Tamia, any words of encouragement to our audience before we leave?
Yes, you guys, your best life is there. You're almost there, right? Even if you think you're living your best life, there's even more in store for you. Once you decide that you're worth it and that you're going to go for it. Like Dr. B said, you got to get in action. Don't just listen to us, but act on the knowledge that you received today and that you get from the Nukosi Talk Show every single day. Just do it. Get in action and go after the life of your dreams.
Thank you so much. Any words of encouragement, Dr. Bigot, please?
Yes, absolutely. And you can do it. If you decide and you take the action, if you believe and you decide and you take the actions, then anything is possible for you.
Thank you so much to all our audience who are watching. If you want to make a decision, for me, I'm saying sometimes you might have to let go of people around you. Sometimes you might have to change the environment where you are. Sometimes you might have to leave family behind. They'll follow you when you find your path, because if you expect people to affirm where you need to go, you're gonna be waiting for a very, very long time. I've seen my family members that expect my uncle wanted to go to Dubai and he wanted to travel. He had a job and everything, so I ring him, and I don't know whether my mom asked me to ring him, I don't know, and he says to me, oh, I'm traveling, but I'm just waiting for the visa, waiting for everything. So I was like, what? Okay, tell me where the problem is now. So he was explaining to me. So I said to him, okay, you want to travel, you go and apply for the visa, I'll buy the ticket. Just tell me the date where you need to travel. So he told me the date, this is where I need to go. So I was like, okay. I went online, I bought a ticket, and I sent it to him by email. I said, okay, you can travel whenever you want. Because that wasn't my choice. Me, I just stepped in as a hand Gary asking me to. Actually, it was his choice. He traveled. I didn't have anything to do with it. He made that big decision. Me, I just happened to have the money. But when you make that choice, make sure you make a big step. A choice is a step. Once you make a choice, how are you gonna get there? Let him take care of you. He says, seek, you will find. So let him take care of you. Let God take care of you. Whether you believe in the universe, but make that choice, make that first step where you want to be, and then ask him. Just say, send me an angel to help me. This is a decision. You know what? We don't know the people that are coming to us. They are angels. Yes. I had people coming to Ngozi talk show, but some people, they just came to actually speak specifically for the job. But there are some people that God send them as angels. They're stepping up. Everyone is stepping up. Ngozi talk show is not just run by Nomsa. I get people messages, people saying, Nomsa, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing for the talk. And I'm like, okay, thank you, Lord. Thank you, God. I'm celebrating all these angels that you brought to me. So just whatever the decisions you are making, guys, if you're watching this talk show, just make that choice. Is the first step is to say yes. How are you going to get there? No one knows. That's what I do in life. So thank you so much for those who are watching our talk. We are here Monday to Friday, and if you love, watch our video, and you love, please press the heart button and share some love. And God bless you all.
God bless you guys.
Bye.
Welcome to Ngozi Talk Shows. Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Challenges we have had to overcome in 2020.
Find your own voice.
The world has become united by the unseen, knowing there are no guarantees for tomorrow.
Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Let the world hear your voice and be filled with it.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader.
The time has come to break away from the pain, distraction, experience the unthinkable.
Experience the unthinkable. God bless you guys.